In 1938, the Rosenkranz mansion was for sale for $6,000. An astronomical sum in 1938. But our founders got together and through their churches and through civic organizations, got together a $1,000 down payment. And in January of 1939, Wisconsin Home for the Aged was born. The Rosenkranz mansion itself perhaps isn't all that significant. It's the people behind the mansion, the impetus that brought together 2 Lutheran clergymen and an area judge. They put Christ at the center of their lives and the center of what the Rosenkranz mansion would become. When the folks came in 1939, they were pretty much independent. They helped with the chores around the place. They planted a garden, they did the canning, they helped with the cooking, they did all those things. From 1939 forward, these people aged in place. By 1950, it was becoming very difficult for them to be part of the activity of the home on a daily basis. And in 1951, the Women's Auxiliary was formed, which today is called our Service League of Volunteers. And the Women's Auxiliary helped to pick up where these people could not do those tasks any longer. They were very instrumental in carrying forward the work of the home. In 1958, it was very important for them to be part of the construction of the new home. The Service League of Volunteers continues to be a very pivotal thing for us here at Shorehaven. We can rely on them to come to the aid of our residents whenever necessary, financially as well as with volunteer hours. I believe it was 1959, Marjorie Ward Baker passed away. And the terms of her will said that the summer home, Knollward, should be given to an organization that would provide care for the elderly for a minimum of 25 years. And after some negotiation, it was decided that, yes, we should accept that as a gift. And they gave us money to add a wing and do some remodeling. When it was all said and done, we would be able to accommodate up to 42, 43 folks. One of the things that was presented at the time was we should give priority to couples, if at all possible. And yes, several couples took us up on it, but there was a definite need for housing for folks who had lost their partners and really needed the security and comfort of others around. Up until the mid-'80s, Shorehaven was really concerned with long-term care and made huge strides in the care that was delivered in our skilled nursing facility. But in the mid-'80s, our CEO really felt that we should be looking at doing something for the independent elderly in the community. And together with the board of directors, came up with many ideas as to what independent living should look like in and around Oconomowoc, and settled on a design that became known as Lake Terrace Apartments. And that was one of the first independent senior living complexes around. And it was very important because folks had been hanging on to their homes and they didn't really want to live there anymore, but they didn't feel there was any place else for them to go. And thankfully, we had clergy here at the time. Our chaplain was someone who was very instrumental in helping them move from their homes to our community, again, reflecting Christ's love in everything we do. The erection of the skywalk was a great event. We had to close down the highway, and people from the community came, our residents came. We had lawn chairs in the middle of Highway 16, watching the crane put the skywalk into place. The skywalk has been instrumental in connecting the two sides of the campus as the South Campus has grown, even as the North Campus has grown. The Skywalk has allowed families to stay together. We're all about keeping our loved ones in touch with one another. And sometimes it becomes necessary to move to a higher level of care when only one partner needs it. And the Skywalk has allowed families to be together to bring a loved one from the skilled care back to the apartment, or to dine in our dining venues over here, but still be connected to the needed services that are on the South Campus. And August 15th, 2005, we moved 150 residents from the old Shorehaven on the North Campus to their new home on the South Campus. And it was accomplished in record time. By 2 o'clock in the afternoon, everyone was home in their new rooms. And that was through the dedication of staff, volunteers, and corporate members. Back in the early 2000s, when we were building the nursing home, we also knew that nursing home wasn't the choice of people. Their choice was to stay in their own homes for as long as possible. And in order to do that, we constructed our Life Enrichment building. And the purpose was to educate people in the community, as well as those on our campus, how to stay healthy and active, and really out of assisted living and nursing homes in their own home for as long as possible. So we have been partnered with the local hospitals, high schools, Learning in Retirement, WCTC, to bring in speakers and presenters who would help our community actively age in the environment that they want. And I think that it has been very successful. We're still a well-kept secret in Oconomowoc, but the programming has been wonderful. Just today, I walked by a program that is presented by one of our hospitals called Stepping On. And it's a program to help people feel better about their balance and their ability to navigate safely throughout the home and the community. It made sense to include a cafe in our Life Enrichment building. And the cafe has indeed served its purpose. We have groups who come every day for a specific purpose. Monday, it's lunch and mahjong. Tuesday, it's an afternoon meal and sheep's head. Wednesday morning, it's go down to Curves and spend some time there. Now come here for coffee and a muffin and conversation. We know that we are going to see people week after week after week for conversation, good food, and fellowship. And that's really what the cafe was designed for, to bring people together, to get them out of their homes. They don't need to feel isolated. They can be part of this community. We had an area that was designated for a future building on the South Campus. And through work with the architects, we decided, well, we needed some maintenance area. So we needed a maintenance garage. Why not build it bigger and put our Forgotten Treasures resale shop there? And of course we did, and in 2007 it opened, and it has been a boon to the campus. Our Service League of Volunteers operates that, and the proceeds are turned back to us in whatever means they feel necessary. And today the building is totally used by our Service League of Volunteers for the purpose of the resale shop. And I think it's a way to connect with the community that we never thought of before. 2011, 2012, we renovated part of our nursing home to become a memory care model. And we use a person-first model. The folks that reside in our memory care area, we want to be sure that they're cared for as a whole person. We meet your mother, your father, your loved one, where they are today, and treat them with dignity and respect, and allow them to age in an environment that is safe. Our memory care model allows people the freedom of movement through the memory care households themselves, but also into the greater common spaces of the building. They join in with things that go on in our great room, musical activities and art activities to try to enhance the lives of those who spend their final days with us.